graphs. It's time for more graphs. So we looked at cost curves, but now let's look at competition. So we're going to let's take a look at perfect competition. Competition. All right, so I'm going to start us off. Let's just look at long run equilibrium. What does this look like? So I'm going to draw our cost curves over here. I'm not going to draw the average fixed cost because if you will remember from the last video, you can kind of determine that from the space between a VC right here and a TC right here. Because if you'll recall, this distance right here, that distance right there is AFC. So if I go and drag this down to here, at this point, the average fixed cost is going to be right there. Okay, and I can do that for all of these, and basically it'll show something like this, as these two things get closer and closer together. But I'm not going to do that. We're just going to know it's there, and let's leave it alone. So I need to draw a marginal cost curve, because this one's pretty important here. It's going to go down and then come up. Remember, it's got to hit right at the bottom of each of these, and that's pretty good. Oh, I like that. Marginal cost. Okay, so we've got our cost curves. Oh, got to label our axes. And this is these are the costs for the firm. And by the firm, I mean this is your business. This is your hot dog stand. This is your, sweatshop. This is your factory. This is, whatever. So this is where you're going to put, this is you personally. But because it's perfect competition, you're not alone doing this. There are a lot of other people involved in this industry because this is something pretty easy to do. And this is something that is going to have a demand for it worldwide, or maybe locally, who knows. And then also a supply for it, and you are part of that supply. So before I draw the supply curve, I want to, because we're at long run equilibrium, I want to draw a line right here. Actually, I don't want to draw a black line. Let's make my line a different color. Let's go green. So I'm going to draw a line straight across here. Because I'm going to cheat this a little bit. If I want to draw the supply curve in the exact right place, this is going to be the price. Our equilibrium price is going to be right around there. And here's our supply. It's going to intersect right there. So that's supply. I got supply and demand. So this is the quantity. And this is the firm over here. This is the industry. So this is all these little businesses all added up together gives us this supply and this demand. And because there's so many people in this business, and it's kind of so easy to do. Again, this is like your snow shoveling or growing, corn or whatever. Not that those are easy things to do, but they're kind of easy to get into. So because there's so many people doing them, you have to accept this price. You can't kind of choose another price because this is going to be what your price is. So in this situation, price is also, if you remember, equal to marginal revenue. It's equal to demand. It's equal to average revenue. And it's equal to price. Tambien. So this is long run equilibrium here. Long run equilibrium. We are producing where supply equals demand. Pretend that says equilibrium. Supply equals demand, and we're earning a normal profit. So before we get to that, hold on. So we're going to produce where MC equals MR, so it's right here. So we're going to follow this down. And this is the quantity that our firm will produce. We're going to make that much and no more, no fewer, because this is our profit maximizing point. This is the best we can do. Unfortunately, though, if you look, it seems unfortunate. I'm producing where price equals ATC, which means I'm selling these things. I'm just going to make up a number. I'm selling these things for $10 each, but they cost me $10 each to make. So I'm bringing, it seems like I'm bringing home no money. But remember, this is normal profit. This is economic profit. And normal profit means I am making the amount it takes for me to produce these, but in addition to that, I'm making just enough to keep me interested in this business. I'm making just the exact amount that's going to make me happy. I'm able to pay my rent. I can, if my kids need braces, I can probably afford it. I can buy a new car once in a while. So I'm not just breaking even and making $0. I'm making just enough to keep me happy. I'm not going on a vacation to Hawaii. I'm not poor, but I'm doing all right. So this is long run equilibrium. So it'd be a good idea. Screenshot this or pause this and draw this. So if I ask for a side-by-side graph of the firm and the industry, this is what I mean. It's this thing right here. Here, hold on. My Zoom is making noise. Weird. No, it's not. All right, anyway. So when I ask for a side-by-side graph in long-run equilibrium, it's this situation right here. Okay, so what I want to do now, I'm going to mess all this up. So let's say something happens and the demand for this goes crazy. People want this product more than they've ever wanted it before, and the demand increases. So let's draw a demand increase. So if demand goes up, right, and people are all about soybeans, or, everybody wants their driveway shoveled. So what's going to happen is we're going to wind up with a new price and a new industry quantity. So this new price is going to show up right here. This new quantity is going to be way down here. So our Q1, P1. And what we're going to find, I'm going to cheat and move my line. So you're going to have to redraw this. So if I move this up to right about there, looks like where our new price is. Okay, this is I'll call this P1. We're going to have a new, hold on, I'm going to delete some things. Come on, delete. Oh, it's going to do this in individual ones. That's going to be a pain. All right, so I'm going to have a new quantity as well. Not perfect. So I'm going to produce so this is a new MR. It is moved up to here. So this is my marginal revenue. And marginal revenue, remember, is a straight line across because, let's say this is $15. Every time I sell one, I get $15 more. That's my marginal revenue. So marginal revenue equals price. It also equals, hey, demand. It's all the same. So I'm going to produce right here. So I'm going to produce this quantity. This is my new quantity. That's nice. And here's the bonus, is my price is greater than my ATC. And if my price is greater than my ATC, that means this amount. So here's the thing. This entire box, I'll highlight this. So this entire box right here, boom, 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 this whole thing, oh, that's a mess, is my total revenue. So that's all the money that's coming in at the end of the day. That's all the cash I've got at the end of the day. And that's my total revenue. This part right here, this box, follow ATC straight across, these are my total costs. So all the costs added up, it's the area of this box right here. It's basically this line times this line. Okay, it's just the area of a square, or a rectangle rather. So if that's my total cost, this part right here is left over. And because it's left over, this area up here is my total profit. Well, you can barely read that, but that says profit right there. And I'm making money, which is nice. I'm making more than enough. I'm not only able to put my kids in braces if they need braces. I'm not only able to buy a new car once in a while and pay my rent. Now, I got enough money to go to Hawaii. That's pretty good. So here's the problem with this, is because this is perfect competition, I'm doing something that doesn't require a ton of skill. So, again, this is a firm making a profit. Oh, I'm on highlighter, not pen. So pause there and copy that down. This is a firm making a profit, but this is not going to last. So let's delete all this. And let's move some things around. So I'm going to get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of these. And what's going to happen now is, because this is so popular and kind of easy to do and I'm making a profit, more people are going to enter the industry. And if more people enter the industry, we're going to have increased supply. So the supply is going to move. So to keep track of our equilibriums, we were here, then we went to here. So now we're going to have a whole new equilibrium. And I need to have it meet right around there. So we're going to have a new supply curve. So this new supply curve is going to set us up with a new equilibrium point and a new price. So we're going to have a new price. It's going to be right about here. P2, I'll call this one. And I'm going to scooch this line down because I have a computer and you don't. And what we got here is a brand new marginal revenue curve. All right, so I got to get rid of this because we're not going to produce at the old quantity anymore. We are going to produce where MC equals MR right here. So let's follow this down. This is our new quantity. So that's our new quantity. This is going to be our new price. P2 we'll call it. And we have something interesting going on here. So this is our total revenue right here, because that's our price and that's our quantity. So that's the amount of money we're taking in. But here's a giant problem we've got. So that's our total revenue box. Our cost is actually, if I follow this up, is right here. So I'm charging, $8 for this product, but it cost me like $10 to make. So I'm going to have to draw a line over here. This is my kind of cost. And this whole thing right here, this is my total cost. My total cost is higher than my price, or my ATC is higher than my price. So cost. Total cost. Okay, and I'm in a situation where price is, I can barely read that, where price is less than ATC, and if that's happening, I am suffering a loss. So let me get rid of this. And my loss is expressed by this box right here. So follow that straight across, and it's this. That's the amount of money I'm losing. This is a loss. So copy this down. This is a firm losing money. So if my firm is suffering a loss, then here's the thing. I can either go out of business, or, and some people will leave the industry, right? They're not in it to lose money. But if I am, I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I know that this is going to bounce back eventually, I'll suffer through the loss, and it's not going to be the end of the world. It's going to be inconvenient, kind of a pain. I will have to buckle down. Hopefully I have some money saved up, but I think I'll be all right. The only thing that would really get me to shut my doors, let me back up here, would be if the following occurred. So let's say the supply increased so much, that the marginal revenue, if the price or if the demand fell on top of this, let's say demand goes down and this becomes even super unpopular. So let's go and I'm going to move this down to here. If I drop below, and again, here's where I would normally produce, where MC equals MR, because if here's my new price. This is what's called the shutdown position. So if I am operating in this part of the marginal revenue curve, So if I'm operating in here, I am actually going to shut down because, and here's why. If you remember from earlier, this amount right here, this distance right here, is my fixed costs. And if I'm making less money than my fixed cost, which is what this is telling me, if I'm making less, so my price per unit is less than my average fixed cost, it is worth my while to close my doors and just pay the fixed cost. I can send everyone home. I can stop ordering new, if I'm making cheeseburgers or whatever, stop ordering new cheeseburgers, stop ordering meat and cheese, and just pay my rent. And I will be better off. So if the marginal revenue drops into this zone right here, below AVC, I am better off closing my doors. If I'm operating here, where MR is hitting MC kind of in between, I'm making a loss. Right here is normal profit. And if I'm up here, I'm making a profit. So if marginal revenue is way up here, I'm making money. It's pretty good. All right, so anyway, that's that. Lots of info. Get it down.